sure I watch it all the way through before I leave today, though.
Hi, this is Brett Ridgway, and I'm here with my good friend
Bryan Hain.
And we're co-founders of a company called Speaker Fulfillment Services, and we've been working with her for...
Try that again.
Hi, this is Brett Ridgway, and I'm here with my good friend
Bryan Hain.
And we're co-founders of a company called Speaker Fulfillment Services, and we've been working with information marketers for, Bryan, what did you say, almost 20
years.
Yeah, for a long time. And so we've seen the good, the bad, the ugly of the information marketing business. And we've been blessed to work with a lot of great people. People like Armin Moore and Alex Mondosian, Alexandria Brown, Perry Marshall, Frank Kern, and many other people. And so we have not only been behind the scenes for these guys, but we've also done a lot of information products ourselves. We've written books, created multi-part home study courses, and a lot more. And there's, frankly, a lot involved, Bryan, in building an information marketing business. And so that's why we're so excited to tell you about a new 6-session series that we'll be starting on June the 16th, where we're going to teach you how to build your own information marketing empire. How are we getting started with all this, Bryan?
Well, we thought we'd start within that very first session. We're going to cover some of the basics you need to know, such as what is the 10-to-1 rule of marketing, and what are just other key concepts you need to know with getting your information marketing business going. But then one of the things I'm excited about is there's a lot of things we want to cover throughout this 6-part session. We're going to be covering how to do Bing ads, Google ads, how to set up a Facebook fan page, how to do Google remarketing, how to, and I know I'm previewing some of the sessions right here, but one of the things you need for a lot of these is you're going to need a lot of collateral material. You need, if you don't have it already, you'll need a logo. You need banners created. You're going to need possibly a video intro and outro created. You may even need video commercials put into the middle of your videos, like we'll be talking about how you can do later. Well, to do all this, we're going to actually show you how we do it. And we're going to start that in session 1. And this is what I like to call the collateral material. And the reason we're starting that in session 1 is because I'm not a professional graphic artist, neither is Brett. We actually outsource a lot of this. And so we're going to start in session 1 by showing you where we outsource, how we work with these companies to do that, and we need to start it in session 1 because it'll take several days to get some of this material back, and so that's why we're going to start session 1, so you can see how we choose a vendor, how we actually then, what material we get them. You'll actually see the communications we have back with them. But so that's one of the things we're going to do, is start creating all that collateral material in session 1, which you'll need for all the stuff we're going to do later.
Okay, so session 1 will begin with key concepts we feel it's critical you should understand to succeed as an information marketer. We'll begin to develop some of the sales collateral, it's easy for me to say. And then also we'll be talking about market research.
Oh, great, yes. This is an area that is really overlooked by most information marketers. Even some of the big ones overlook this, and it is kind of frustrating because it will really help really hone in everything that you need to know about marketing your products. And here's what I mean by that. By doing the proper market research, you may say, I want to go into such and such industry, but you may not know exactly what product, or maybe you have an idea of what product. Well, by doing market research, you may be able to hone exactly what you want to put into that product to make it more appealing and more saleable. And then by also this market research is going to show you what keywords do you want to be marketing under, whether it's paid traffic or free traffic. It's also going to start showing you what words should you be using in your sales copy and different things like that. And
It's going to show you things like how you should price your product. You've got to look at the competition
Definitely.
and what they're doing in the market. So market research is very important to you as an information marketer, and one of the key things that we're going to talk about in session 1. Now session 2, Bryan, we're going to get into list building. Now you may say, well, why do I want to build a list? I don't have any products yet and all that, so why are we covering this so early in the sessions?
Well, we're covering this so early because the quicker you start building a list, the more successful you will be. If you've already got a list, great. We're just going to show you ways that you can even grow that list even more. But if you don't have a list, we're going to be showing you everything you need to know to start building your own list. Everything from creating your first opt-in page, to working with an email system, to setting up what emails you should be sending out, how often you should be sending them, what you should be crafting in those email messages. And the purpose of these email messages when you don't have a product at first is you're going to be just simply relationship building, making sure that they get to know you, get to know your company, your brand, and really start to establish you in the know, like, and trust factor with your prospects.
So we're going to talk about frequency of emails, we're going to talk about formatting of emails, text versus HTML, pros and cons.
Yep.
But the bottom line is here, if you're going to be successful as an information marketer, you need a list of people to market your product to, and you need to start building that list today, well before you have any products created and ready to take to market. So, not yesterday, not 6 months from now, get it going now.
You know, and your list is not just an email list, actually, because we're also going to be showing you how to set up a Facebook fan page. We're going to be showing you how to create a YouTube channel, you know, how to do your own Twitter account. These are all different things you should be doing where you can be growing a following on all these different platforms. And yes, email is still one of the strongest platforms to be able to directly market to, and you should be doing it there. But these other platforms are ways that you can be growing followers too, that hopefully you can then migrate onto your email list. But even if you can't migrate them onto your email list, you know, we still post on all the different social medias when we release something new, and you should be doing that too. So we're going to be really covering, I guess we said how to grow your list, but it should be how to grow your platform, which is really your list, your Facebook fan pages, your YouTube channels, your Twitter accounts, everything that there is social media related. So
now, piggybacking right on top of the list building session in session 2 is session 3, where we're going to go into lead generation in much more detail. This is the meat and potatoes, how to, nuts and bolts, whatever, on what type of things.
Well, we're going to be talking a lot about traffic, right, in session 3. We're going to be talking about, there's really 2 ways to drive people to your website to opt in. There's paid traffic and there's free traffic. And here's a little hint, there's really no such thing as free traffic, because you still have to work, even if it's some up front and it may last for years to come, you still have to put some work into it up front to even get this free traffic. But we're going to show you several different ways to do both of these techniques. So we're going to be covering such things as, on the paid traffic side, how to create Bing ads, which I really love Bing ads. I mean, Google is the 800-pound gorilla, and we're going to show you a lot in Google too, but Bing is really an overlooked resource. Bing is Microsoft's version of Google Ads, and it's where I like to do a lot of my testing for ads first before I roll them out into Google, because they're a lot less strict on what they do and don't allow, and so you can really get something working there, and then once you're liking it, you can slide it over into Google Ads. But we're also going to be teaching about Google Ads. We're going to be teaching about a very special tool inside of Google called Google Remarketing, which if you're not doing, you should be doing on every single one of your products. It's awesome. It's what Google Remarketing is when somebody comes to your website, they get cookied by Google, and then as they travel throughout the web, they will actually start seeing your ads appearing all throughout the web. And if you've ever been to Target or Amazon, and then you go to other websites, you may have noticed how that tennis shoe you were looking at is suddenly following you all around the web, even if you bought it, which is a little annoying.
So they really are walking in your shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to teach you how to get your prospects walking in your shoes, so to speak, so that your ads can be following them all around. And we're even going to talk to you about the right way to do those ads, because one of the biggest mistakes people can make is having just the same ad and only one ad out there when they're doing their remarketing. When you really want to have many different ads out there, which will show different benefits and different features and products and reasons they should be buying your product, because remember, as they travel, they will start seeing your ad all over the place. So you don't want to just have that same thing over and over. That can get very annoying.
So session 3 about lead generation in depth. Session 4, we're going to start actually getting finally into product creation.
Well, but before we do that, we're going to talk about how you do free advertising too.
Well, we can do that.
So still in session 3, we were talking about kind of the pay-per-click side. There's also a lot of free traffic you can drive. Simply with SEO, which is search engine optimization. But there's been some techniques we've learned from different marketers over the years that really work well with YouTube. And so we're going to be talking about how you create your own YouTube channel and how you should be doing that. Well, I think we'll also be covering even more in depth on Facebook, both on the paid advertising side, but also on how you can even put on events, or how you can do different things with Facebook to drive traffic to your site for different things.
Can I talk about product creation now?
You can. So
I love product creation. So, I mean, product creation obviously can involve many things. It can involve books, home study courses, CD sets, DVDs, membership sites, newsletters. I mean, there are any number of things that can be classified as an information product. And you should have a good mix of all the above as part of your mix as an information marketer. So in session 4, we're going to start talking about the different types of products, the pros and cons of each, digital versus physical pros and cons, and then we're going to get into how you can develop some of these products quickly and easily. How can you write a book without writing a book? What are quick and dirty ways to create audio products? What about the whole issue of repurposing and how you can take existing content you already have and turn that into other products? So there's a lot to cover in the product creation realm, and that's what we will be doing in session 4.
Now, one thing I want to point out is you may have noticed that in each of these sessions, we're really packing in a lot of information. These sessions are going to be at least 90 minutes, and chances are they're going to go over. Don't worry, all of these sessions are going to be recorded, and you're going to receive lifetime access to them. So even if you can't make the session live, you can actually come watch it later. But also, let's say that there was a specific technique that you liked in there that we did on how to set up a YouTube video and get it listed in Google. Well, you can actually come back and watch that as many times as you want in the future because you'll have lifetime access to all the replays. The other thing that we're going to have is if you happen to be live on the call, the sessions, you're going to be able to ask questions. But if you aren't live on there, you can actually still ask questions either before the session starts or even after, and we will still answer your questions. Mm-hmm. So I just want to point out that, yeah, these sessions are probably going to go over 90 minutes, but we're going to try and keep them as much as we can in 90 minutes, but with as much content as we're talking here, you're going to quickly discover that we don't have a lot of fluff. We don't put in filler content. We don't just try and make something appear longer or bigger than it is. We're kind of, if you know us and if you're watching our video, you probably have seen us or gotten to know us now a little bit. We're pretty meat and potato, and that's our entire approach to everything. We don't believe in a lot of fluff content. We don't believe in fluff in our sales pieces or anything like that. We just go straight into it and away we go.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, Brian, we've worked with a lot of information marketers over the years, so let me ask you a question. What do you think the one thing is that they most are sorry about in the building of their information marketing business over the year?
That they did not do continuity revenue earlier in their career.
I mean, if you're selling a product and you're always continually looking for that new sale, that can be a real challenge as an information marketer. That's why continuity revenue, such as subscribers to a newsletter or membership site members, are really important for you to develop early in your product mix. Because if you go into a month knowing in advance you already have X amount of sales because they're in your membership site, that takes a big load off your mind. And so, since we think membership sites are so important, we're going to do a very deep dive in session 5 just about membership sites.
Now I want to point out we actually have 2 membership sites still running today that still do quite well. They generate several $1,000s for us just each and every month. We don't really do much with them, think much about them, and it's nice knowing that those are there each and every month. And so what Brett is saying is right. We're going to do a deep dive because there's so much to cover in doing a membership site, especially doing it correctly. And specifically, we're going to start off by talking about what are the different types of membership models that there are. Because just saying, oh, I want to have a membership site, I want to charge people X dollars every month, that's not enough. You really need to think about what is the model. When are you going to be releasing content? Is it going to be evergreen? Is it something you can only sell one time? What happens to a member if they join today versus if somebody joins in 6 months? We're going to talk to you about these different models, why you would choose one versus another based upon A, how you want to price it, B, how much time you want to spend on it, and C, how easy it's going to be to sell up front. Because different models are easier to sell up front and some are harder, but on the flip side, some will take more of your time, some will take less of your time. So there's a lot of things you need to think about in doing this, in structuring the way that your membership site's going to be. And I'll tell you from experience, it's very hard to change a membership site model. You can do it, but if you sold a bunch of people, if you sold several hundred people or 1,000 people into one membership model and you decide, whoa, I don't like this model, I'm going to switch, you're basically starting over. You may not lose them all, but I'm willing to bet you'll probably lose about half of them if you do a major change, if not more. At least that's been our experience the 4 times we've done it. And so I don't want to do it again. We've gotten much better about thinking about what is the model up front. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, after we've talked about what model to do, we're then going to dive into actually how to create your membership site. So we're going to get a little technical. I'll put on my technical cap.
Brian will carry the ball on that one. And
we're going to actually walk you through setting up a membership site. Possibly even more than one, since we've got several models to show. But we're going to actually, we love using WordPress. We love using Wishlist with WordPress, which is a plugin that you can use on WordPress, and it's a one-time fee. That's what we do all of our membership sites in. And we're going to show you the power of it and why you should be doing it that way, and then also how to set up these different models in there. And as I said, you'll get all the recordings, so if you see a model you like, you can go back and watch step by step how we do it to your heart's content in the future.
Okay, so let's recap here real quick, Brian. Session 1, key concepts they need to understand, market research and developing some of the sales collateral they're going to need later on. Session 2, list building. Session 3, lead generation, both paid and free. Session 4, product creation. Not only what are the different types of products you can create, but some quick and dirty tips on how to create products quickly and easily. Then Session 5 on membership sites, deep dive. And then Session 6, we're going to try to tie it all together for you. That'll be kind of a wrap-up call. So we'll talk about infrastructure things like...
Well, so in the first 5 sessions, Brett just kind of recapped everything we've covered, and there's a lot there, but you may, at this point, be a little overwhelmed with, boy, which do I do first? How do I make sure I'm moving this all in the right direction so that I'm going to, at the end of the day or the end of the month or whatever, actually have something producing money, generating leads, growing my list? Well, session 6, we're going to actually start diving into a lot of what you need to know to tie this all together, to bring it all up together and really show you how best to implement it. And so we're going to be talking about what are some techniques you can do, and these will apply to whether this is your full-time job already or whether you're working another full-time job and just do this on the side. How can you make sure you're setting aside time every day and making forward progress on this project?
So we're going to give kind of an action plan to move forward.
We are. We're going to be talking marketing plans and strategic plans. We're going to be talking what are different techniques and tools that we use to make sure that we'll talk about our 5-minute marketing strategy. We'll talk about just different things that we do to make sure that we make forward progress each and every day. Because if you don't do that, you're going to actually find yourself 6 months down the road sitting in the same place, having achieved nothing and still wondering why I'm spending all this money. So we want to actually help you to say, okay, first of all, you're going to need to focus. Don't try and do 10 different things at once. We'll do a real quick technique for you showing you how multitasking doesn't actually work and what you can do.
That's a good one.
To actually work through it. And we're going to show you how to focus, plan, and actually implement everything we've been talking about, and a strategy to stick with it and get it done.
And then we'll talk about some of the pieces that you need in place to really run an information marketing business. Things like your shopping cart, your email platform, how you're going to process money, merchant accounts, PayPal, etc.
Hosting,
product fulfillment. I mean, there's any number of things that are critical parts of it you need to understand, and we'll cover those in the wrap-up of session 6. And then actually we're also going to do a bonus session where it's going to be an open mic night, and you can ask Brian and I anything that you didn't ask earlier in the sessions. I mean, we're there for you. And we may also talk about some things that, after we've done the sessions, we really should have talked about this.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, I mean, something's coming to mind right now. Coaching programs. If you want to do coaching as a part of your membership site or as part of your model in terms of products you're offering to the market, well, there's a lot of good ways and bad ways to do coaching programs. We may talk about that some. So,
well, we can talk about the bestseller campaign that we did and how do you actually do a bestseller campaign for your books.
So we're sure there'll be some bonus things we haven't even mentioned here yet that we'll end up covering somewhere along the way. So you might be asking, how much is it, Brian?
Well,
how much is it?
The simple answer is it is $297. There's no price drop. There's no I'm going to do this for you. It's $297. We think that's an incredible value. It's going to be 6 sessions.
Plus the bonus session?
Plus the bonus session. And from our talk here that you've been listening to so far, you'll see that we're going to be covering a huge amount of content in those 6 sessions. And we keep saying 6 sessions. I'm a little nervous that we're going to be throwing in some bonus sessions because we do have a lot of material to cover in these sessions. But everything we've talked about here, we are going to cover in all those sessions, or possibly additional bonus sessions.
And the bottom line is we're here for you. So anything you want to ask, anything you want us to dive into deeper, anything you want to talk about, just ask. I mean, we're here to give you what you need to really build your own information marketing empire. So we begin the sessions June 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. But again, if you can't make a session live, don't worry about it. The replays will be available for you. And then we'll do every Tuesday, Thursday for the next 3 weeks, plus however many we throw on the end.
Yeah.
So 10 of you begin June 16th and we end July 2nd, I think it is, but who knows. So we would love for you to join us. We think it's going to be a fantastic training series. And again, if you're really looking to build your own information marketing empire, you need to know the nuts and bolts, how to do it the right way. And we've seen it from all sides. So join us just by how, Brian?
Just scroll down, click the Add to Cart button below right here, and we'll look forward to seeing you on June 18th.
June 16th, man. June 16th.
June 16th.
See you soon. Take care.
I don't know, I think the second one was better. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit better.
It's 20 minutes.